te encuentras tan lejos de aquí, pensando más en lo que hiciste. Me duele no estar junto a ti. Me paso las horas cantando y me encuentro tan lejos. Me paso contando, cantando esta misma canción. You gotta set me up while I'm waiting. I gotta rock you down all night long. You gotta set me up while I'm waiting. I'm gonna rock you down all night long.
Hi, my name's Laura. Can you introduce yourselves?
I'm Javier and I play drums in this beautiful band.
And I play guitar.
I'm Kinski and I'm vocalist.
I'm Rodax and I play the bass.
Okay. What made you guys want to start, this band?
What happened is we started this band, I guess out of necessity to express our inner demons, inner thoughts, spirituality, all of the above. All the bands we've always been influenced by or impressed with have sort of a message. The Clash, U2, Los Fabulosos Cadillacs, Caifanes, have a sort of transcendence about their music. And so when we started playing music, it was just out of a necessity. It's a very artistic necessity that you have. I mean, everyone has the necessity to express themselves. We all do it differently. So we all do it musically because that's our inclination and ultimately our vocation. So that's why we started. And and it's fun, jump around and you get to sort of release the tension. And I think that's a lot of the times when we play for a lot of kids or fans, the people that go dancing and stuff. It's always very cathartic and also very therapeutic, People that come to see us play jump around and dance around and they have a good time. And I think that's an important feature in our society,
Yeah, they actually encourage us to go crazy, and it's
Yeah.
okay.
Estar junto a ti. Vale no estar junto a ti. Gotta set me up on a waiting. I'm gonna rock you down all night long. Yeah. Set me up while I'm waiting. I'm gonna rock you down all night
Can you describe your music and your musical influences?
We're a cross between the Backstreet Boys and Kenny Rogers with a splash of B.B. King.
Can you handle it?
Well, that's a hard question because we come from such a different, very backgrounds. All of us have listened to anywhere from heavy music to very mellow music. Particularly me and Rodax, we grew up in Mexico. Well, he grew up in Mexico too, but we listened to, I guess, in Mexico when you were a child. You go to a party and then you listen to cumbia and ranchera and banda, and then your brothers are into like progressive music like Yes and then you listen to Michael Jackson and all the 80s pop, and then we had uncles who listened to a lot of jazz and that kind of stuff. And then Rodax got into jazz heavily because he studied jazz for a while, so we got into like Miles Davis, Coltrane, Ornette Coleman, all this stuff. So our music is rock and roll with a splash of eclecticism, really. We have a little bit of reggae and cumbia and stuff like that, but essentially it's rock and roll because we like that essence, whenever you have drums, that sort of drives the sort of machine forward, so it's hard to be not a rock and roll band with a drummer for us. As far as I'm concerned, I have like rock en español, and Anglo rock the same way. That's why we are bilingual. You know, that's why we do what we do.
Tonight will be the night you say goodbye forever there. My soul can match your soul. It pains my heart to hear you say between the darkness of life and that faded flowers tonight. Disorder buses now like vultures all around my head. Goodbye. Now I leave you with my face sometimes. I curse your name in vain. So pick up your pick up your pick. She said, 'cause you're not mine. Pick up your pick up your pick. Then I think you should know that
What kind of problems or obstacles did you have to go through to actually get your band to where they are now?
Just like what everybody goes through, you know, hard times, you know, money, you know, we pay for a record. We were indie up until we got signed to Epic up, you know, 6 months ago. So we've always done it ourselves, and we're a very hardworking band, but we encounter every problem that there is to encounter. I mean, as a student, you encounter the same, you know, problems. Sometimes you don't want to write an essay. Sometimes you know, you have a hard time in the class and you want to drop the class, but you don't because, you know, you have to sort of finish it. And I think that's the difference. The difference between bands who make it or people who make it, people who don't, is just the persistence and, you know, perseverance and sort of the dexterity to solve the problems. So we've encountered every problem that you can think of, you know. We're very lucky because the four of us are very disciplined in a sense, and, you know, everybody sort of pushes each other. It's a nice balance, you know. Nobody is you know, is ever like slacking. You know, we're very supportive of each other and very respectful. So that has made it a little easier, you know. Like if you feel discouraged and then you go to practice and you have your band showing up and everybody's just working, then there's nothing to be discouraged.
What do you have to say to kids that are trying to start a band right now?
Don't
Don't even think about it.
do it. Don't waste your life away. I don't know, to kids who start bands, just do it because you love it. Don't do it because you want to be like Britney Spears or like, you know, I don't know, whomever. I mean, no disrespect to anybody.
Get the chicks. You know, something.
I mean, you know, whatever. Do it because whatever you do, just do it because you believe, you know, it's gonna make you happy. I think that's really key. You know, it's like at the end of the day, whether you go to school, university, and your parents tell you like, you know, go to law school because you're gonna make money. Well, that's nice for them, but, you know, what if you like art history better? Or what if psychology is your forte? Or what if you want to do social work?
Right.
You know, the beauty of the world is that it sort of takes all kinds of people to make it a better place. So I think that for anybody who wants to make music, just do it because you do it, and then the rest just kind of follows, you know. It's like you find your path eventually. And but I think, like I said, you know, about living in the future is very dangerous. You know, live in the present and enjoy jamming. You know, don't enjoy. You know, don't wait until you're on MTV. You know, enjoy every day.